Hi! I'm Maureen.
And I'm Sondra.
And we decided to speak with you together tonight because we've been good friends for many years, and we do a lot of similar work that does have a little bit of an overlap. And what we found is that there's a common theme or common thread in what we do. My work is, actually my website is enjoyinglife.com, enjoyinglife.com. And a few years ago, I had discovered that I was doing a lot of different things. I've taught Reiki for many years, and I was offering courses on law of attraction, mastermind groups, and things like that. And I wanted to get my identity back. Who am I? What do I do? And I realized that everything I offer helps people step into joy in their life. And so enjoyinglife.com was born. And Sondra?
Well, I just wanted to say that we decided to do this together because, well, we're both Canadian. No, I forgot to mention that. Yes, we are. No, that's not the reason. But we just have, a commonality that is really about enjoying life and having fun and playing. And
we do it so well.
We do it so well. Being authentic and sometimes outrageous. Maureen is really good at being outrageous.
She's my cheerleader. And Sondra is fun and playful.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely playful.
Yes.
And you should meet us one night when we're out playing. We won't tell you where, though. You have to find us in Honolulu sometime. Next week.
Wednesday night.
Sunset.
Okay.
We're having fun.
Yes. Should we get serious?
No.
No, never.
Okay.
So, okay. So, I do the bars with Accents Consciousness.
And they're not like chin-up bars.
And they're not like this kind of bar.
She does those also, though.
I don't do them very much anymore. I used to do them.
Now she can have fun without alcohol even.
Right, yes. Just ask Lori.
Yeah.
When she had her bars run, which is bars of energy that run through the head, that when lightly touched, deletes. It's like pressing the Control-Alt-Delete button on your computer. And it deletes things like, all the beliefs in aging.
Yeah.
And creativity and money and body and sexuality. And
I want to keep my sexuality.
Yeah.
I don't want to delete that.
Some people have very
limiting beliefs.
limiting beliefs about sexuality.
Yeah.
That, when we were little kids and we used to run around naked and we were just pure sexuality. We didn't have any judgments or any limiting beliefs about our sexuality. It wasn't bad or wrong or even right. It just was. And we just were pure sexuality.
It was great.
Yeah.
And it is too.
Yes.
One of the things I wanted to share when Sondra had done the bars session for me, one of the limiting beliefs that really released for me just effortlessly without even really analyzing it, but when I look back, was that I had to work hard at things. And that's one that I see come up with a lot of my clients, is that, it's got to be difficult and hard instead of just instantaneous. And I felt that ease after the very first session, and that it's easy and that can be just done in one session.
Which goes along totally with your intuitive session and the law of attraction. Right.
Yes.
Because when we're playing and we're having fun, that's when we attract everything that we desire. Not when we're being serious and adult-like.
And I want to talk about the bars because I actually referred people to you when I was doing a law of attraction mastermind group. And one of the things that people work with when they want to embrace law of attraction in their life is letting go of what we would describe as resistance. So when you're resistant to a problem you have or a situation, what we resist persists. And so what I had done with the people in my class, the workshop, was I said, if there's anything that you feel you want to let go of your resistance towards, whatever it is, go see Sondra. And some of them did, and had some bar sessions and had great results.
I find it definitely, just the resistance just leaves.
Yeah, and I love it because you don't have to analyze, you don't have to figure it out, you
Yes.
don't have to do all of that.
No vision boards, no intentions, no anything.
No affirmations, that you have to word correctly.
Right. No mantras, going to sleep. Putting
Not that those aren't fine if you
Right.
want to do them, if
Right.
they're fun. And in fact, that's one of the encouragements of law of attraction, is to only do inspired action. And so again, if something bubbles up that's fun, playful, feels easy, then it's being supported. And the more I have found that we play, it literally raises our vibration, and all areas of our life get easier and more synchronous.
And then we just attract parking spaces or
Money.
men, or money, men and money.
And new cars,
And new cars.
and all sorts of fun things.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
And
just,
new iPhones.
yes.
I got an iPhone for Christmas gift 2 days ago.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been wanting one.
Even better. I'm really glad. Life can be this fun and easy. It really can.
Yeah.
And the only time it's not is when we get in resistance and we forget. We let those limiting beliefs get in our way. And in fact, I want to mention something, invite all of you who are watching to come to one of my intuitive gatherings. It is usually a group of anywhere from 15 to 30 people, and I go into a relaxed, altered state where I get to be the voice for the higher wisdom of the people present. And I do many one-on-one sessions, and you can find out more information at my website, which is ourhigherwisdom.com. That's O-U-R, higherwisdom.com. But the most fun ones for me are the group sessions, because the answers to anyone's question comes from the higher consciousness, which never has resistance, by the way, of everybody present. And the amazing thing is if the people present have a great sense of humor, the information coming through has a great sense of humor. And of course, my humor does pop in once in a while too, but once in a while, yeah. So.
Now, I'd like to say something about
Yes.
one. The picture that you have of someone where you were in an intuitive gathering and someone took a photo, and there was actually, you could see the light, the energy coming from Maureen's fingertips, because her vibration, her energy completely shifts, and she goes into this much higher frequency.
I get high.
Yeah, it's really an altered state. It's fun. It's fun.
It really is
It
fun.
really is fun.
And if you want to see that picture, currently it's on the homepage of ourhigherwisdom.com. And if you look carefully, it's subtle, but you can literally see streams of light coming out of my fingers as I'm gesturing in some way. Yeah.
That's incredible for a phone to see that.
Yeah. Just lift it right up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And I know for myself, being at some of your intuitive gatherings, that there's sometimes parts of ourselves that we've cut off. And in Maureen's intuitive sessions and in the gathering, she often reminds you of places and aspects of yourself that you have cut off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's one of your gifts, a quality, for example, of compassion, or someone who really loves to find solutions, or it can be someone who's got a creative gift that's been shut down sometimes that shows up. And what I find very reassuring and affirming is that when something like that comes through in an intuitive session, the people who hear it, it always rings true right to the core of their being. And it's so different from a psychic reading, because in a psychic reading, typically, not always, but typically, people are asking sort of predictive questions. And if someone asks me a predictive question in the Our Higher Wisdom, what happens, of course, is that the answer coming out is, well, it's up to you, because you create your future, you create your reality. And
Like free will, right?
yes, and I find that the intuitive information from our higher wisdom is really empowering, because it rings true, and it's always about what is it that you have power to influence to create more of what you want, how to get rid of some of the resistance for things, and using tools like this.
Yeah, or some of the blocks that could be hidden from, that we're not seeing.
Yes. Perspective is another big thing.
Perspective,
Is, in fact, this is why I was on the drive over here, I was thinking about play and fun, and how much fun we have together, and how spiritually nourishing it is to be really playful and fun. And what I realize is that, say I have a little problem, an irritation, some glitch in life that isn't flowing smoothly, is when you're busy having fun and you're laughing and being playful, that problem that was like this huge big black cloud in your life suddenly is in perspective. It's really just an ant on the table, and if you feel like it, you can just put it in its place. And if you don't want to be violent, you can take it outside and let it go.
Well, the bars is really good for just
The non-violent way.
way. You get up off the table and you're completely gone.
Yeah.
Completely gone.
Yeah.
And
And when you get a bar session, it's like floating for me. And I get lots of energy work done, and I love Reiki and everything, and the bar is different. And Sondra, I do trust, after many years of knowing her, and she said, "Oh, I want you to, I want you to try this." And I'm like, okay. And in fact, the first time you did the bar session, I'm like, okay, I want one a week for the next 5 or 6 weeks or
It was
whatever.
10, you said.
10, yeah,
10,
whatever.
10 weeks it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I could feel free. I was free of stuff. I didn't even have to, I couldn't give it even words. It was so deep, so core. Wonderful.
That was, I remember one session where you really experienced that you could make $1 million. You had the experience
I
in your whole
forgot
being.
about that. No, it was 5 million.
Oh, 5 million.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
limited
a minute,
me.
million, yeah. It was 5 million, and I got to feel the consciousness that allows 5 million to come into my experience. 5 million in a year is what it was. It was just like, yes. And I haven't manifested it this year, but there's always
Yes.
next year. Yeah, or
Yes.
it could happen. We still got
Yes.
30 days. Thank you. Yeah. And that would really be, you have to do another show for us. If my 5 million comes before the end of the month, then we're really going to show. So how do people find out more about the bars?
Well, they can go to my website, which is Sondra with an O, Laverty, Laverty, .access, ACCESS, consciousness, CONSCIOUSNESS.com. I'm spelling it because last time Lori said I needed to.
Yes.
So I'm doing it.
Well, very good. Very good.
And last time I spelled it wrong. I left out an S. Oh, so I had to correct.
Well, and I think people would figure it out at some
Okay.
point.
All
But
right.
it's nice to give everyone clear instructions.
Now, do you give your telephone number over to you?
Yes.
Do you? All right. If you'd like to call me, my number is 221-9749.
Area code.
808.
Yeah.
I also do.
And you can find you in the.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And you can definitely find me in the Hawaii Wellness Directory. And the
Yes.
one online and the physical copy.
Yes.
Yes.
And I am under Enjoying Life, I think, in the wellness directory also. Yeah.
And your
So-
phone number?
My phone number, the best way to leave a message for me is 702-475-5433.
How come you know that?
Because you have my personal private number.
Oh.
Yeah. So 702-475-5433. And yes, I do spend quite a bit of time in Las Vegas. So it's a Las Vegas phone number. But
Well, you spend quite a lot of time all over the world.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. 6 weeks coming up in Europe,
Uh-huh.
and then 6 weeks or so on the mainland, and then a month here, and then to Canada again. So I'm going to see Eastern Canada, your stomping ground, which I've not ever seen.
Toronto?
Yeah. We'll be just outside of Toronto for quite a month.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful up there.
It'll be in the
Yes,
spring, so
yes.
it'll be late May, so it'll be
It
nice.
could be cold.
Well, anything outside of Hawaii's 80 plus is cold for me, so
Right.
yeah.
So, anything else that,
I wanted to share something, if we have time, yes, is in one of the group intuitive sessions back in the spring, and there's a bit of a recording on my website. If you go to Intuitive Gatherings on the menu, and there's an archive, a piece of recording called A New Money Consciousness. Because I have 2 gatherings coming up in December here, one on this coming Saturday, and then one on December 20th. And a lot of people are asking about this 2012, the winter solstice, the change coming up. And in fact, I live in my own little happy world that I didn't realize that there are really people fearful about this change. And I was talking to a client, and she's like, well, will we be here on the 22nd? And I'm like, of course we will. You know,
and she needs a bar treatment.
she definitely does. Absolutely. I'll send her to you. And I said, where would you get the idea that we won't be? And she goes, late night radio. But I forgot. I live in my vibration. The people that I connect with are people that are fun and playful and happy, and so I forget that there is a large population that has some concerns and worries. And in all the questions and all the things people have asked, even about that one key point I want to share before we go on too, is when people were asking, are there going to be, you know, natural disasters and, you know, sort of like all the apocalyptic movies and everything else, and what came through in a couple of my sessions actually, when people have asked, was yes, we're going through a time of change. The planet is definitely in upheaval. In fact, my last intuitive gathering got cut short because of our tsunami evacuation.
That was just so we could go home and play.
Yes, yeah, well that too. It was fun. We did. We had a lovely bottle of wine. You had some great guacamole. And we had a great time. So yes, we cut it short so we could go play.
Not that we weren't playing.
Yeah.
We were playing.
And it doesn't matter where we are.
Yeah.
Exactly. But so the point being, though, and this is a really, I think, brilliant piece of information that came through in one of these sessions, and that was that whenever there is a crisis, we can't anticipate, we can't predict when, what, where, how to protect ourselves and prepare and be all worried about it. What was said is whenever we are in a crisis situation, we have only 2 options. We either lean towards love or we lean towards fear. And the examples that were given was, for example, on Kauai back with Hurricane Iniki.
I was there.
You were, oh, that's right, you were.
I was.
And so there were people, there was some fear and things going, but the overall tone of people's response after the initial was love.
Yeah.
Helping each other out, sharing, what do you need, who needs something. And the contrast to that was like Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, where fear took the predominant part of the scale. So within each one of us, whatever happens whenever a crisis comes up, being stuck in traffic today, I could choose fear and get frustrated and angry. Oh, I'm going to be late, it's not going to work. Or I can choose love and go, we'll have fun no matter what. So that was a key thing. And the other thing that came up that I want to talk about is, I believe, based on the information that's come through in a number of sessions, is that we are on a tidal change from living a life of lack awareness or lack consciousness into abundance. And this little piece that is on my website that was a recording, it's not the greatest quality, but it's good enough to listen to, is talking about this new money consciousness, and talks about how everything in nature is abundant. And money is just an expression of the energy of nature. And it goes into detail about how we will start to see amongst ourselves, and it starts in little ripples and little waves, where we start to, when we're feeling like we have lots of money, so for example, maybe you go out for dinner somewhere, go out somewhere nice, like our Wednesday night fun time, and we go out, and so not only do we pay for our food and drinks and everything, but we leave a really generous tip because we had such a great time and we really loved the interaction with our servers. And so we gave more than what was necessary or expected, because we were feeling abundant and we were having a great time. if someone is getting a massage. So there's many service industry things where this is already a vehicle that's set in place. But can you imagine a world where we're not trying to get the most out of our money because we know that more always comes? And so we feel abundant and we just give whenever we feel that inspired, to give a little extra, to give a little more, to...
That money is like the air we breathe. There's it's just a flow, it's just a given.
It is.
Yeah.
It reminds me, speaking of the air we breathe, it reminds me of an example I heard in another workshop where they were talking about, money and how abundant it really is, and said it's like we don't wake up in the morning for air and go,
Yeah.
and try and hold on to all our
Yes.
air for the day at once.
Yeah.
We always know, not just trust, but we know that every breath we take in, there's always enough, and we let it go because more is there when we do it. And that gets money really good.
And have you ever thought about money? It's just like it's paper. It doesn't do anything. It's just a piece of paper. And we put so much charge on it, and so much this and so much that.
It's the consciousness that we give it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember many years ago, and I don't know if it was you I was talking to about money, and asking if whoever I was talking to, I remember back in college days when it was really a big deal to have enough money to put gas in your car. And it wasn't you, it was somebody else I remember now. And do you remember back in those days when you were like pulling money together to try and make sure you had enough money for gas? Now notice, it was, I think so, because it's so alien to where we are now.
Yeah.
And yet, and now gas is way more expensive, but it's just not a consideration. There's always enough at least for gas, and there's always enough at least for food, and then it just gets to be more and more. There's always enough for a trip to Europe, and there's always enough for my cruise to the Mediterranean, and there's always enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's always enough, but time does have to pause once in a while.
Did we just get that song?
We did.
Well, it's better than the cave.
Yes.
Okay, you guys get
So,
off.
Do you have anything coming up with the bars?
I don't have anything scheduled because of the holidays, but if people want a session or if they want a class, just call me.
And the number is 808
221-9749, and I'll put one together.
Yay! Fun. Thank you.
You do too, right?
Yes,
Intuitive.
the intuitive gatherings, the 1st of December and the 20th in the evening. Thanks.
Yay.
Yay.